What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports, and I'm back with you guys with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the best quarterback from every conference in college football going into the 2019 season. We're going from Group of 5 to Power 5. We're covering the best quarterback of every single doggone conference at college football. Now, let's get into this video. So, the best quarterback in the Big Ten is Justin Fields. He transferred from Georgia. Now he's an Ohio State Buckeye. And this guy hasn't even started a game yet. And I believe that he's better than every single quarterback in the Big Ten. And it's not really a good quarterback that you can name off the top of your head in the Big Ten that you can be like, oh yeah, he's going to be a Heisman Trophy contender. You can't. Name one. Name one quarterback in the Big Ten right now that you believe can win a Heisman Trophy without being biased because he's the quarterback of your favorite team. There isn't one, but there's Justin Fields. In 2018, he had 328 passing yards, completing 69.2% of his passes with 4 passing touchdowns. He also had 42 carries for 266 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Justin Fields, he can run, he's a good thrower, and he's accurate. Ohio State is going to win the Big Ten, I believe. I believe they're going to dethrone Michigan, even though Michigan has never been on the throne anyway, but they're going to annihilate Michigan again this year. And they're going to be in the college football playoffs. And Justin Fields is going to be a Heisman finalist. And I believe he is the best quarterback in the Big Ten. The best quarterback in Conference USA, we have Mason Fine out of the University of North Texas. He's on pace to break every record in North Texas when it comes to passing yards, passing touchdowns. He's going to shatter every single record. And he's probably, in my opinion, the most underrated quarterback in all of college football that doesn't play in the Power 5 conference other than McKenzie Milton. This past season, he threw for 3,793 yards, had 27 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He completed 64.6% of his passes. He's not much of a runner, but he had 20 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. And I believe he is the best quarterback in Conference USA. Moving on, we have Zach Thomas out of Appalachian State from the Sun Belt Conference. Now, he is a sophomore. I believe that he had a pretty good season. I believe he was the most consistent quarterback in the Sun Belt. He had 2,039 yards passing, 21 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He completed 62.6% of his passes. He also had 504 rushing yards on the ground on 92 carries and 10 rushing touchdowns. So I believe Zach Thomas out of Appalachian State is the best quarterback in the Sun Belt Conference. Moving on to a Power 5 conference, we have Justin Herbert out of the Pac-12. This one is a no debate. Anybody in the comment section who thinks any quarterback in the Pac-12 is better than Justin Herbert is out of your freaking mind. But I can understand if you make an argument for Khalil Tate, because Khalil Tate, I was considering having him on this list, but I just couldn't after that season that he had. And in 2018, Justin Herbert, he started out the year really, really strong, but he kind of fizzled out down the stretch due to injuries. He passed for 3,151 yards, had 29 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, completed 59.4% of his passes, had 166 rushing yards on 71 carries, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And he is undebatably the best quarterback in the Pac-12. I better not see nobody in the comment section try to make a debate for somebody else that's better. Out of the Mountain West Conference, this was a very, very tough decision. It was a lot of good quarterbacks. You have Jordan something out of Utah State. I had him on this list, but I had to take him off. So I chose Cole McDonald, the quarterback for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. In 2018, he had 3,875 passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, completed 58.9% of his passes, had 359 rushing yards on 134 carries, and 4 rushing touchdowns. It was a very, very, very tough choice for me putting him on this list. You had to do from Fresno State and the quarterback for Utah State, but I believe he is the best quarterback in the Mountain West Conference. In the SEC, undebatably, we had Tua Tagovailoa out of the University of Alabama. This doesn't really need an explanation. Pretty much self-explanatory. We already know what Tua did this year, destroying everybody in the SEC, and he had a phenomenal season. A lot of people can say he got snubbed for the Heisman. I believe he might have got snubbed for the Heisman, but we're going to save that for we're going to leave that back in 2018. So this past season, he threw for 3,966 yards, had 43 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions, completed 69% of his passes, had 190 rushing yards on 57 carries, and 5 rushing touchdowns. Now we go to the MAC conference, Fear of the MAC. We have Nathan Rourke from Ohio. I hope I pronounced his name right. This dude is an absolute beast. I was watching this guy's highlights from every single season he was at Ohio, and this guy can do every freaking thing. He can pass the ball. He's an extreme threat running the ball. He reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel. A lot of Johnny Manziel. Go watch his highlights. I'm probably going to link those in the description down below or the comment section. But in 2018, he had 2,431 passing yards on 23 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He completed 60% of his passes. He had 860 rushing yards on 134 carries and 15 rushing touchdowns. Dude is a freaking monster. The next quarterback that we have going into the 2019 season, we have D'Eriq King. He plays for the University of Houston. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, you're an idiot for not putting McKenzie Milton on this list. McKenzie Milton is most likely not going to be playing this season, and this quarterback, from the title, it says best quarterbacks from each conference going into the 2019 season. McKenzie Milton will not be playing the 2019, so he will not be on this list, but he most definitely will be on this list. But D'Eriq King had a monstrous season, and before he got injured, he was on the lot. He was really on the come up. I believe he was in the Heisman Trophy talks at one point. I forgot who it was, but it was somebody saying you have to watch this kid. This kid is definitely going to be on some Heisman ballots. But unfortunately, he got injured. But before that, he had a very, very phenomenal season. He had 2,982 passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, completed 63.5% of his passes, had 674 rushing yards on 111 carries, and 14 rushing touchdowns. He was doing it all, and I believe he is the best quarterback in the AAC other than McKenzie Milton, but McKenzie Milton is injured. So, in the Big 12, we have Sam Ehlinger out of Texas. In 2018, he had 3,292 passing yards on 25 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, completed 64.7% of his passes, also ran the ball 164 times for 482 rushing yards and 16 rushing touchdowns. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much he develops. I believe he's going to be a Heisman finalist as well, as Texas has huge expectations, and he's going to have a bunch of huge expectations as well. So, the last guy we have, the best quarterback in the ACC, you already know who it is Trevor freaking Lawrence out of the University of Clemson, the Slim Reaper. This past 2018 season, he had 3,280 passing yards, 30 passing touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, completing 65.2% of his passes. He also had 177 rushing yards with 1 touchdown. No debate here. I don't think you can even name a better quarterback in the ACC right now that's even close to as good as what Trevor Lawrence is. So this is my list of the best quarterbacks from every conference in college football. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos, college football videos, and lots of American football videos. And I'm out.